more information on the products and services that interest you.
From Robert Basil Chevrolet, Buick, and Cadillac.
Okay, here's the paperwork to apply for your new home loan. I'll check back in a couple of hours to see how you're doing.
Want a faster, easier way to cash out some equity or consolidate bills? Take control with a name you can trust. Ditech.com. You could borrow $50,000, $75,000, up to 125% of your home's value.
Bust another loan to Ditech.
Call right now, 1-800-949-2533.
CNN, the most trusted name in news.
A look at our top stories this morning. Driving through parts of Florida is getting tougher. The Florida Highway Patrol shut down a 12-mile stretch of Interstate 95 indefinitely. They're clearing fallen trees from those raging brush fires. Internet regulators are turning down a plan to create a red light district on the internet. They reversed an earlier decision that approved a .xxx domain. Andy Serwer is going to have details coming up in just about 5 minutes. And there's word the National Security Agency is secretly keeping tabs on your phone calls. Not what you're saying, just who you're calling. USA Today calls it the largest database ever assembled. Miles?
In Toledo, they're still deliberating the fate of that priest accused of murdering a nun. Yesterday, the jury deliberated for just a few hours after lengthy closing arguments. CNN's Keith Oppenheim is there.
In closing arguments, prosecutors boiled down the case of a priest accused of murdering a nun 26 years ago to this. They said it was simply about a man who got angry with a woman and a woman died. Father Gerald Robinson sat at the defense table and listened as attorneys gave very different versions of an old case. It was in 1980 that Sister Margaret Ann Paul was found strangled and stabbed in the chapel of Toledo's Mercy Hospital. At the time, Father Robinson was a hospital chaplain. He was questioned but never charged, not until 2004. When cold case investigators took another look and believed they found a match between a bloodstain at the crime scene and a dagger-shaped letter opener that prosecutors say is the murder weapon belonging to the priest. Defense attorneys tried to cast doubt that the letter opener is the murder weapon and instead suggested that the nun was killed with a pair of scissors. Now a jury enters their second day of deliberations and must decide if there's enough physical evidence from more than a quarter century ago to convict a priest of murder. Keith Oppenheim, CNN, Toledo.
A short break. When we come back in just a moment, Andy Serwer minds your business, and we update you on the weather forecast. That's in a moment. Stay with us.
Closed captioning provided by Head On. Should I know about Head On?
Head On. I just bought Head On at the drugstore. What's Head On? You've never heard of Head On? Should I know about Head On? Head On is available without a prescription at retailers nationwide.
Wandering eyes off your laptop. Reassuring, removable 3M privacy filters. Now you see it, now they don't. Find yours at 3mprivacyfilter.com.
Who would ever think that the waste we generate would generate support for local events? The same people who lead the way in recycling nationwide and who conduct educational programs for our children. We're Waste Management. Working with local leaders, we're developing smart, earth-friendly landfill properties that serve the community in unexpected ways. From everyday collection to environmental protection. Think green. Think Waste Management.
The thing you try to do when you're on a story is fit in that small little camera lens all that you're seeing and all that you're feeling.
Anderson Cooper, your eyes, your ears, your connection. AC 360, CNN Tonight, 10 Eastern.
I gotta say, your performance was pretty disappointing today. Your swing looked like you were chopping wood. Your chipping was costing you stroke after stroke. You were playing hockey on the greens. We got work to do. Lots of work. But we won. That's why I was taking it easy on you.
Inside every high performer, there's an even higher performer trying to get out. Go on, be a tiger. Accenture. Consulting, technology, outsourcing. Accenture. High performance delivered.
MCOR. What we know about life safety is alarming, which makes everyday life that much safer. From rapid fire detection to efficient fire suppression, from reliable emergency power to all types of security systems, when organizations need to protect people, places, or things, they need MCOR. Meet Robert and our other experts at mcorgroup.com. High performance today, prepared for tomorrow. MCOR. Build it, power it, service it.
I know, I'm a horrible person for not moving my old 401k, but digging out the paperwork, filling out the application, picking the right investments, the thought of it exhausts me. And with everything going on at work, the last thing I need is a second job.
Andy Serger's with us. He's minding our business. Good morning.
Good morning, Soledad. Talk about strange bedfellows. Conservative groups and porn websites joining forces to block a move to create a .xxx domain on the website, on the internet, I should say. And interesting story here. The Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, that's called ICANN, was looking to do this .xxx. This is a little blurry, but I think that's intentional.
But not blurry enough, in my opinion. Let's kill that. There we go. Thank you. My children watch this show in the morning before school. We don't need to see that.
A lame attempt at blocking something we shouldn't see.
They were trying to create this domain name so that all porn sites would be gathered in this one sort of so-called red light district, but conservative groups didn't like that because it would legitimize the business, and porn groups didn't like it because it would make it easier to regulate and provide oversight, so it was blocked. And it'll be interesting to see.
So wait a minute. If the conservatives didn't want it and the porn sites didn't want it, who wanted it?
Who wanted it?
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of parents might have wanted it because you could have blocked all things with XXX. Yeah. And so anyway, 2 out of 5 people who use the internet visit porn sites each month, according to one survey. Interesting there. Another little thing to talk about here. If you go into chat rooms and you use a female screen name, you are very likely to get malicious messages. 100 malicious messages over a 24-hour period versus 4 for a male name, or 25 for an ambiguous name like Moonbeam or Flower Lover or something like that. So please, this is obvious stuff. Yahoo is getting into the home sales business, hooking up with Prudential Securities. So home signs will have a little Yahoo ID tag, and you will be able to go to their website and they'll provide you with all kinds of information. This is all about buying and selling homes on the internet, and that is going to be coming to pass very soon.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I think that's about it. We have time for the Google guys. What do 2 guys look like who are, no, we don't have time for them. We'll show them later.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, but they're looking kind of cool, and they're worth a lot of money, so we'll get to it later.
All right.
Okay.
The latest on Sergey coming up later. Let's check the forecast. In the meantime, Chad Myers.
Hey, for a couple $1 million, even you can look cool.
That's true. You know, that's true.
We can go to Vegas and do a shopping spree. Good morning, everybody. Cold air across parts of the upper Midwest. Actually, a cold rain coming down through Chicago, up north in Michigan, all the way back down even into parts of Illinois and Indiana and Kentucky. There may even be some severe weather there. The strongest weather, though, will be along the mid-Atlantic states and then briefly pushing out into the ocean later on today. A high today in Chicago, only 54, 55 Minneapolis, 73 in Atlanta, warmer in Savannah all the way down to Jacksonville, but there are some showers down across parts of northern and central Florida right now, and the firefighters need that help. The next hour of American Morning starts right now.
Thank you, Chad. Tracking every phone call you make. News this morning that the federal government is amassing the biggest database ever created.
I'm Ed Henry at the White House, where the president is celebrating a big victory on tax cuts. But will it lift his sagging poll numbers? That story coming up.
Interstate 95 closed down again by brush fires in Florida. It may be days before those smoldering trees and brush stop falling onto the highway there.
A small town in New York is fighting high gas prices with a controversial proposal that some say is only hurting the little guy. I'm Alina Cho. I'll have that story coming up.
And a woman fired for getting pregnant artificially. Well, now she's fighting back. We'll have her story on This American Morning. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. I'm Soledad O'Brien.
I'm Miles O'Brien. Thanks for being with us. We start with your money. President Bush looking for a big victory on Capitol Hill today. The Senate is expected to follow the House and approve a $70 billion tax cut. president has been pushing for. Ed Henry